Hey y'all, welcome to another Bougie and Budgeting monthly budget reset. And today it is September. And honestly, looking back in August, y'all, where do I even begin? So let me just go ahead and open up my Monarch app and get on into it. Like this month was ridiculous. Y'all gonna see. So, obviously, getting into my Monarch, I am going to go over to my budget and scroll over to August and look at that. Although August, I did make a good amount of money because, as y'all know, August we got paid 3 times. It's still like I feel like I still spent too much. Although I technically kind of only spent about $5,000 this month. I overspent, and this is where for me, I feel like I need to for the fall, I need to sit down, honey. I need to sit down because this is getting a little outrageous. It is the summer. So in the summer, I be outside. In the winter, I be put up. So I think that's probably why I spent so crazy. And I also decided that I wanted to itemize some of my spending this month as well. You can see going into some of my categories. I noticed I didn't set certain rules on them this month, but I'm definitely noticing that I overspent a lot on restaurant and bars, and some of them aren't really looking right. So I decided to kind of go in there to make sure. And so, although Rue looks like it might be a restaurant. It technically isn't. It actually is where I go to get my gas or little things for my car. So I had to go and exchange or change out that rule within Monarch. And then that way, that kind of reset my budget. Well, actually, reset the amount that I actually spent for that month because some of that was actually really off. And I don't want, you know, every time Monarch sees that come in that, oh yeah, that's for food, and it's not. And then also Swimply, which was something very new. That was me and my girls. We went out for a girls trip. I mean, a girls pool day. And so that was something new. So I had to make sure that it was being itemized correctly. And again, you just see me right here creating the rule within Monarch. Every time it says the rule and it's over a certain amount, let's say $70, that actually needs to go into my gas. So I actually applied that to multiple sections just in case I was missing anything. And so then I'm going to go back to my budget and kind of do that for each one or just double check on where I was, actually spending it because I just wanted to make sure that honestly, as I prepped into September, like all of those rules were set and it wasn't as that confusing as before. So right now I'm just looking at my September budget. Everything looks fine and it doesn't show that it's going to possibly project a different amount because sometimes it does that, but it didn't do that. So good. So although I overspent in August, it's not going to show that for September to be like, oh yeah, well, we're going to project you're going to spend that much. So back to August. So next, I noticed that okay, that did go down, which is perfectly fine. It did go into the gas area, and I did spend a lot of gas. I was doing a lot of traveling because it was a lot of my friends' birthdays. I had like 2 or 3 birthdays in that month, and so I was like, I have to have to slow it down. Then also, I took a look into my internet and cable because I know for a fact. Okay, I was not spending that much. And what I noticed was actually my Verizon went over into internet and cable, but actually Verizon, I got a new iPhone 15 Pro Max, and that was a surcharge. And make sure that I set that rule if again, Monarch sees that budget or sees that expense and they're going to budget it correctly. So again, doing the same thing again, going on to my next subcategory, and everything's looking fine right now. Spent a little over on my phone because obviously, like I said, I got a new phone, and so they did charge me an extra $38 to upgrade. That was the upgrade fee, so that's going to be on there. And also restaurants and bars. I had a time, baby. We had a time in August. And also in personal. I did a lot of shopping. Like I really needed a lot of self-care as well. And then also to prepare for some things that I was doing. And then I didn't even travel or had no vacation. So I actually noticed that this was being tracked incorrectly. This was actually a business expense. I use beacons for my link in bio, so I wanted to make sure that was itemized correctly instead of it being in travel and expenses. It's so weird that they put that in there, but Yeah, no. And then next, groceries. I actually did really, really good. I budgeted 600, and I didn't really go over that, so I was really glad that I did it, and I still had a little bit of money left over. And then also shopping, I kind of went over because yeah, if I'm gonna step outside, baby, I'm gonna step. Okay, we had multiple events going. Okay, and then I also noticed that my child care, which is actually my education, my child's um, his homeschooling tuition, it wasn't in there. And so I noticed, oh, it's in education. He goes to a Celis Academy online, and I had to change that rule because all summer he wasn't in school. So I actually changed that to being childcare. Now I might actually change the name of that instead of childcare and put Caleb's tuition or something like that. But as of right now, we're just gonna put it as childcare and then create the rule, and I'll change the actual name of that budget area or expense area a little bit later. And then Klarna, I did actually pay for like a pickleball training, and then that school fundraiser that was for a friend's baby who I actually fundraised instead of buying the chocolates because I didn't need them. And so now we're gonna go back to the budget, take another look again at my budget for August, make sure everything is itemized. And again, I do this because I need to know where my money is going. Okay, I need to know what my money, where, how it was, and what it did before, and if I needed to, itemize anything differently throughout the rest of the month. Now, not gonna lie here, you guys, I'm a little upset. I, y'all know, I had a inflamed kneecap, and I overspent almost 200 and something dollars in medical bills this month because I had an issue with my knee from playing pickleball. Then after that, I got actually sick. It was just a crazy month for me, and I just had to pay that. Okay, I had to pay my copays. I had like 3 or 4 doctor's appointments and had to get medication. So this was another option, another area that I saw. It was actually for graphic tees, and it was in clothing. For some reason, it was in fitness. Changed that. I bought a Michael Jackson T-shirt because I love Michael Jackson, and for some reason, it was in fitness. That's awkward. And then next, just again, going back, all you're going to do, if you're doing this as well, make sure you're going through and checking from last month to make sure you actually have the accurate amount that you spent, and also expenses is itemized correctly. I noticed I wanted to double check on my financial and legal services area. This is actually, I put this in here for my investment funds, and also I put that in there for like my credit charges and stuff like that that I have, like Credit Karma, or I use my FICO. So I just want to double check on that. And then also I thought that I was going to spend a little more in my loan repayment, but I actually did pretty well. And then I also double checked on some of my miscellaneous fees, making sure everything was correct, which is it wasn't. So like some of this stuff actually went or should have been into like my business things. Like I did decide to open up a Shopify this month. I haven't set the website live yet, y'all. So when it is, I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna have all of my budgeting things over there, so I'll just keep y'all updated on that. I'm testing the waters with Shopify because my current website is actually on Squarespace, so I'll update y'all on how well that's going. Then next, again, what I also noticed about my spending, my business spending and stuff like that, wanted to make sure those actually were correct. And something I noticed that was different, I actually have a talent management company that I also pay fees out to manage me, and that was for some reason in the wrong area, and it definitely should not have been. So I had to put that into my business expenses area, and then I think I was pretty much good to go. The only crazy thing that I know I also was on accrual for was at least $500 on my car this month. I had to get a city sticker, window sticker, and also an oil change, okay, for an Audi Q5, baby. I don't even want to talk about it, okay? So that was also in there. And then for some reason, I don't know why my contributions are not adding up within Monarch. I'm going to take a deep look into that because I did still have some money saved and some money left over from actually spending and things like that. So I'm gonna just have to make sure I double check all of that, and make sure all of my things are connected as well. So this is me just lastly reviewing. I'm gonna go to my cash flow, and as you see, 704 7 $1,449 was my income. I spent 4,789, and then I saved about $2,000, and that put me to a 35% savings ratio percentage. So yeah, I'll see y'all next month. Until then, keep budgeting, beauties.